And copyright.
Welcome everybody to the Dadgummit Podcast. Here we are yet again with another episode with your hosts Brandon and Alec, and here we have another special guest with us today. Welcome, Caden.
Thank you, Caden.
Adam.
Yeah, I've been watching. I've done it on every guest.
Have you? I
Yes.
don't watch this. I make such wonderful memories by
How
just
do you
doing
not
Yeah,
it
best
watch
myself.
things to watch.
I got other things to do.
How do you at least not watch the 5 minutes, the first 5 minutes, to see how it goes?
I listen to
first
the
five.
I listen to the first 5 seconds.
So you-
Typically,
The
enough,
first 5 seconds.
I listened
that's
to
the
it
title.
enough to click on it. I started hearing the drums, and then I immediately hit pause because I don't want to hear what I sound like.
How do you think we feel?
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine the editor listening to this.
Poor man. Thank God we pay him a lot of money.
I don't edit this. I don't have to listen to me.
That's what I'm saying. Me.
Excellent. Exactly.
Imagine what I feel like.
He's the editor. His name's B. Randall.
Caden,
Yes.
where do you hail from? Caden.
Where are your people descended of?
My people.
Your peoples.
My people. Wow.
What's that supposed to mean?
Yeah.
That can mean a lot of things, you know.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, if somebody asked, you know, where are you from? And then you responded with the state you were born in. And then I followed that up with, no. Where are you actually from? Like that's the answer that I want the
Okay.
first time.
So, that's the case. I was born in Texas,
Again, that's
where I hail
He
from,
did- there
where
we
my
go.
people hail from.
now's the answer to my question.
I am from Scotland.
Oh, that's disappointing.
How is that disappointing?
You
How
don't
is
even-
that something I can
Good
control?
Caden.
He doesn't even have red hair.
Try directing into the mic.
He doesn't even have red hair.
That doesn't make me Scottish.
That doesn't make me Scottish.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Being a ginger
As
makes me Scottish.
As a fellow non-Scotsman, it does.
So to be fair, about
To be fair,
To be fair,
well, to be fair,
to be fair,
you don't watch.
I did that.
no, I don't even know what that is.
My family bought me excuse me.
No,
My
you're
family
good.
bought me Ancestry.
Don't
and,
apologize to us. Apologize to them.
I am sorry, viewers, for my potty mouth, as
Excellent.
Alec would call it.
Excellent.
It's allowed here.
Well,
Just talk freely. Everyone else has.
no, talking freely will be later.
Once we have a couple more of these, yes, I'll talk freely. But yeah, my family bought me Ancestry, and I was
Oh,
found out I was 39% Scottish.
they bought your ancestry. You paid for Scottish.
My family is 39% Scottish and 37% British. So, like, a good portion of my body hates itself right now.
That's
because
true.
Of that relationship.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of internal strife in your body.
Well, clearly there wasn't a lot of internal strife in the bloodline.
That is true.
There was a lot of, you know,
there could be, opposites attracting, all that.
Mhm,
a
mhm.
love-hate relationship. Oh,
Like classic Romeo and Juliet.
I don't want to think about what was happening.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm curious now.
No, I can't talk about that.
Can't
I'm
talk about it. All right.
Curious. Yeah, so what state are you from? United States citizen?
He said Texas.
I did say Texas.
It was literally the first thing that came
Where
out of
in
his mouth.
Texas?
So I'm from a small town about an hour northwest of Austin. If I was to say the town, you probably would not heard.
I don't even know where Austin is, so yeah, I definitely wouldn't know.
Try me.
Burnett, Texas.
Never heard of it.
Burn it.
exactly.
Like the vodka brand, Burnett.
Yes, Ashley's probably spelled the same way. I haven't seen that brand.
I've got it in the cabinet.
Spell it.
Burnett.
-1 T.
That's Burnett.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Man, you're in the wrong country.
You're in France, first of all, and that's not anywhere
Here.
near- Yeah.
One of the. You're not wearing a flannel. Oh crap!
I'm sorry. You never said there was a dress
Oh
code.
crap!
There's not a dress code.
He doesn't
I was waiting for the day.
He doesn't have a mustache
It
either.
happened.
He doesn't have a mustache either.
Yes.
Ah, yes, I did fail the
In
November.
the middle of November.
Yeah, I did fail the November challenge. The no shave November. I completely
We're only 2 days in. You are or 3. You already shaved
We
So
are
I
screwed.
shaved
here.
day 1, yeah, on here because was getting ready for work and I said, you know what? I'm a little scruffy. I should probably shave. And went through the entire thing and I just afterwards I'm like, that's a clean shit crap. So unfortunate. If I do attempt it, I would have to extend it to December 3rd to fully hit the 30-day requirement.
December 3rd. Rest in peace
How is that a rest in peace moment?
to your mustache.
Oh.
It's dead. You killed it.
It's never dead.
Yeah, you can extend it out. It's never
What-
too late.
What may
Never say
live?
never.
What lives may never die. What is that? That quote?
Let them eat cake.
You only live once?
Something. What
YOLO.
What lives never dies. I don't
You
know.
only YOLO once.
I think it's
You
Game.
only
I think it's Game of Thrones. Somebody will tell me later.
Who will?
Someone in-
What is dead may never die.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I don't know what you're going
I need
on
to
about.
rewatch it. I didn't finish.
Rewatch what?
The 5th.
Game of Thrones.
The 5th season, 6th season, 6th season. Yeah, because I think there's 8.
I made it through season 2 and I don't know. I just didn't keep watching.
Yeah, I lost track.
Did you not like it?
No, it wasn't that. It was
Because
just
I mean, you've seen The Boys. It can't be too graphic for you.
no.
Hey, The Boys is good.
The Boys is an
The Boys
excellent
is good.
show. Gen V, even more graphic than The Boys,
I don't think I'll be
and
watching that one.
it's a spinoff. It gets rough. it gets real rough,
Wow.
especially the second episode. If you know, you know. Ick.
No,
Nope. Don't know.
I don't know.
If you know, you know. IYKYK. Ick.
YOLO
Eek.
sounds
Sounds Eskimoan, doesn't it?
sounds like Russian.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. They don't use the letter K.
Yes, they use K all the time.
Hey, you can't
Kalashnikov.
say.
Oh,
Kalishnikov
no,
literally
they
says K
hate-
You're
they
not
hate
supposed
those.
to say that word.
What, Ikyuk?
It's what is it? What's the proper
What are you, Russian? What?
no for Eskimo.
What's wrong with Eskimo? That's literally a tribe.
No, you're not supposed to say Eskimo. You're supposed to say I don't know.
Alaska Native?
Look it up.
Yeah. You use Google.
I'll look it up.
We're using Google this episode.
Yeah, we're gonna use Google this time.
I was gonna say, I don't know what Icelander.
No,
I-
that's a country. You're mistaken.
Well, no, I understand Iceland is a country. By the way, that is the biggest big brain Uno reverse card that has ever been played on this planet.
You darn right. The Vikings.
No,
Geniuses.
Iceland and Greenland is like, yes, I want to go to Greenland where there's clearly green and avoid Iceland where there's clearly ice.
Yeah, the Vikings did that.
Biggest Uno reverse card that pretty sure I've ever heard of.
Inuit.
Really? That was the word you're
What's
going for?
Eskimo then?
Eskimo means
Eskimo is a thing.
Eskimo means eater of raw meat,
Okay, so I'm an Eskimo.
and it's and
We're all Eskimos.
I literally like Google it. Like the first thing that comes up is why you probably shouldn't say Eskimo. It's not considered PC anymore.
We're not. We don't ascribe to that.
So they didn't, as far as I know, they didn't have.
I have a
much
PC
wood.
right here actually.
We all eat raw meat. I've seen you eat sushi. I love sushi. I'm willing to bet he does too.
Yeah. I
So
enjoy
we're
sushi.
Eskimos.
I'm fine with that.
By the definition you have pulled up, yes.
By the definition of Google, we are Eskimo.
Not a sponsor.
Eskimo. Who?
It's
Not a sponsor.
Who?
Us.
Eskimos?
Google.
We sponsor this show.
we are not sponsoring Google,
We are not sponsored by Google. That is a fact.
but we
No,
are.
we are not sponsoring Google.
That's
Wow.
true. We can't afford to do that. Why would we sponsor Google? That doesn't make sense.
That's
at
not
all.
true actually. If you look up the name of the show on Google, like
Yeah, you're
5 out of 10
you're like-
pictures.
We,
You are
we,
like
we
up there.
dominate. We dominate
you
the
look up-
dadgummit Google search.
You look it up and you go into images and you're like the second or
incredible.
third photo.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it so much.
For coming out with episode 7 already being the top images for Dadgummit.
We
That's
are
pretty good.
the top
We are
premier.
farmers.
7.
Bringing you premier podcasts. It's dadgummit.
So what were significant points of your childhood that led you here?
That led me here. Wow.
Yeah.
So
What was like the course? What was your pathway through your childhood? I don't know.
What snake web did you
Tell us
weave?
about yourself.
If you had to show us a spider web of your life,
So it all started when
what rattlesnake would you pick?
the
Huh?
diamondback,
Oh,
the one native to America.
all
And
roads
only in
lead to
America.
1 point.
Anyway, to answer your question, other host, I am more leaning towards being the better host of the two.
Spoken co-host.
Yes.
What? You can continue.
What?
So
Continue.
yeah, where I am today, obviously went through elementary, middle, high school, same as y'all too.
Ideally.
But
Public?
Public?
yes, very much so. Public, small town public
Excellent.
school.
Member of the public community.
But
That's me.
but from what I've heard from y'all's podcast, that y'all had significantly smaller schools than I did.
How big was your school?
Graduating class of, or I wouldn't say significantly, but I was 262 was the
That's not
graduating
too.
class.
That's not too much bigger than mine.
Yeah.
I think mine was like 220, if I remember right.
That's like 100 more, 140 more than me.
Yeah, that's
That's
the
what I
more
thought you were
significant than
saying.
you.
It's like 40 more than me. I was like, no, that's about
that-
40.
But yeah, so at the time, I saw that college was kind of like not worth it for me. Mainly because at college originally was for people that could
Do arithmetic in their head.
well, yeah, they could do arithmetic in their head, as you say, but they had the ability and the time to be able to study and get higher like wage jobs and positions,
Right.
and it was considered like a unique experience at when college was first like unveiled. Like, hey, you have a college degree. Oh, you're set up for life.
Unveiled?
You can get a good.
How old are you?
I'm younger than you.
Well, what?
Boom, roasted.
We discussed this prior.
I wasn't
to,
there at the discovery of Oxford.
Not true.
but oh, I'm sorry. I am taking college right now, in my spare time. But that's besides the point. But at the time, I said, you know what? College isn't as rare as it used to be. Everyone or most people that I've seen have a college degree now.
Yeah.
It's not rare. So if I were to get a college degree, I'd be severe amount of debt because I joked off in high school.
Oh crap!
Yeah, so I'd be in severe amount of debt.
Don't
with a,
jerk off or joke. Don't joke in high school.
Don't jump off.
Don't joke off in high school.
Yeah, don't joke around in high school.
Joke around. Dang it.
You should listen with these.
Don't
headphones you
joke
got.
around in high school, kids.
Anyway,
Mind your
so-
manners and your teachers.
So I didn't see it as a worthwhile investment at the time. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go right into the workforce and I'm going to get experience. And I want to be able to put my hands to work and be able to get that work experience because that's what's rare nowadays is people with work ethics that I've noticed.
Hang on, give me 1 second. I realize you're leaning forward to talk into it.
Well, no, that's how I'm doing it. My elbows are forward, so I'm leaning into it.
Well, most of the time you were talking over.
Shut my door.
Huh?
Shut my door.
It's hot.
You're hot.
Thank you. I can hear it.
So?
I don't like it.
I was gonna say I see the red light now, but I'm like, is that camera on?
The red light of day.
This ice is melting.
Now we're gonna
No, we're not. There's barely any alcohol in this.
Just,
We'll be
just
fine.
take off your shirt.
The heat.
Of the heat
off your-
of the jungle
The mighty jungle, the lion
sleeps
tonight.
tonight.
Anyway,
Sorry.
Let's
Continue.
get back to it. So yeah, so I put my body to work, and I just from job to job, and here I am now.
Here I am.
In Virginia, away from Texas, you know, just life takes you places. Just do what you can.
yeah.
I don't really know what the best way to sum that up to how I got here.
No, that's fine.
You stuck out your thumb, and here you are.
College?
Just like the late, great hitchhikers.
I do regret not going to college at least for a year or two to get that experience. Because I've heard people that enjoyed college, they were able to take their time and
Oh, yeah.
enjoy life. And I kind of burned my early 20s with that,
I
not
loved
being able
college.
to.
A college degree is the new high school diploma now,
Yeah, that
and a master's degree is a bachelor's degree, and a doctorate is a master's.
Yeah.
Because it is more unlikely to not go to college from my experience. And I only had a graduating class of 120 in a hick town. So,
a hick town.
I mean, the majority, like 3/4 of the people went to college,
Fair enough.
at least.
That was my town as well, or my graduating class.
So it's just wild. Like, and you get that huge amount of debt, or you can go into the workforce where most places you can get a very good starting salary just doing any trade job.
Hmm.
Like, why? I don't know. Why wouldn't you do that?
Because a lot of people want that, at least office job now. They want that, I guess, that cushy job where they don't have to do much and get a living pay. But like I said, that was the American dream back then, is you put in the time, you put in the work, and you get this nice office, this corporate job with money out your ass, and you're able to be able to live comfortably with that. Now you
Wife and
can't.
kids at home.
Yeah, wife and kids at home, you being the breadwinner. That was the American dream in the 60s and 70s. At least back then, that's what I kind of was expecting from small town me. I didn't have much of the internet. I didn't grow up seeing the outside world, and when I finally did, I'm like, well, crap.
For some of us, it's still the dream.
That will always be what it is, a dream for some.
Wow.
I don't know. Office jobs just
What was that noise?
Yeah, I was like,
size.
That did
maker.
not sound like ice. It sounded like
That-
someone
no,
knocking on my door.
that did sound like ice. Now that you mentioned it, sounds like ice going through
Feels like-
your fridge.
As many times as you have pointed out and said it's the ice maker.
Well, to me, it sounded at that time. It was like
A door. It sounded like a door creaking. I'll give him credit for that.
Oh, I plainly heard ice just dropping into
But-
the tray.
I hear it working now. But
Um,
that's
I
besides
don't
the point.
trust it.
Back on topic.
I don't know. So I've had both jobs now at this point, and my most rewarding job at the end of the day was,
You lived a corporate job?
yeah, I've had office jobs.
What?
My favorite job was working maintenance and grounds at McGuire Memorial Hospital.
Shout out to McGuire Memorial Hospital.
Shout out to episode 2.
Electric.
Electric
But
boogaloo?
like, yeah, just running around doing like physical labor on houses and doing the yard work on all the houses and on the main hospital campus.
Your favorite
That
job was
was-
doing yard work?
That was the best work
So it's
that I've
not.
done so far.
It's not, at least in my experience. Sorry for interrupting, but it's not
You're good.
necessarily the work that makes or break the job. It's the people you're working with.
Yeah, it was. The people were a blast all the time. And I don't know, the work itself too, like it was, you're out in the sun all day, you're sweating, you're getting grass all over you, whatever, but like
That
you
sounds-
left the end of the day and you were like,
Sounds
you can like
miserable.
look at it. You can look at the thing you did and you're like, wow, that looks good.
You can take
I did
pride
that.
in your job, and that's where it comes from.
I think the most fun job I had was when I worked as an exterminator. Part time.
You want to elaborate a little bit on
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, let's hear about this.
Did I not talk about it in the first episode?
No.
I do not remember.
I could have swore I did.
Well, let's get a recap then.
Replay.
So after high school, when I was in community college, I worked at a valve manufacturing facility for about a year.
Mhm.
Left to go to college. Came back, found out my job was not waiting for me when I got back.
Ugh.
It's unfortunate because it was decently paying, and so I kept working as a delivery driver, off and on with a family friend's restaurant, and then during the summer got an offer to work at another family friend's place of business, which was an extermination company. And I got to learn about all sorts of different insects and like extermination techniques and like house proofing for like weather and pest control, things like that. I didn't work there for very long. It was about, I think, 3 weeks or a month was the only time I worked there. But what was fun about it is I worked there during the rainy season in North Carolina. And I remember this one house that we did. So I'm small.
Obviously.
I'm like a short guy, and so a lot of the stuff we had to do was crawling into small space, put up, sheeting,
Ugh,
and make
I
sure
hate
that
crawl spaces.
it stays. Oh, I loved it. I
Ugh.
love getting like inside nooks and crannies because it's like I don't know. There's something about digging in a foxhole.
Yeah, but the
That's
spiders.
just so much fun. Well, there wasn't that many spiders.
Ugh.
I don't mind spiders. Bugs don't really bother me. There's like one bug that still kind of freaks me out, but it's not dangerous. I don't know what they call it. It's like a jumping beetle, I think.
What?
I
A
don't know.
jumping beetle?
I don't know what the thing is actually
I
called.
mean, I wouldn't be too surprised about
it's
that.
it's about this big. It's a beetle. It's like
And
the
it jumps?
the shape of a grain of rice. Yeah, and like specifically if you go like touch its back or something, like those poppers, you flip them inside out and then you lay them down. It will do that, but you don't know when it's going to do it, and it hurts if it hits you in the skin. And
What?
so, as a child, whenever I would go see them, be like, "Oh, bug, I gotta get it outside." I would go capture it, and it would, as a child does, cover it with your hands, and then it pops against you, and you've got 6-year-old hands that are delicate. Freaking hurts. I'm like, what the?
Those?
Yeah, I'm like, what the heck?
What about a spider? It freaking digs its fangs into you.
I've never been
You're
bitten
not
by a
worried about
spider.
that?
No, I've never been bitten by a spider.
I was gonna say I've had like some dangerous spiders crawl on me, and I've not noticed. Like brown recluses have crawled on me, and I have not noticed until it's like too late. I'm like, you are on my thigh, and I don't want, and I'll flick it halfway across.
Most spiders
Texas.
aren't gonna bother you.
Yep.
Spiders.
No, spiders.
No, I've known a lot of people that have been bitten and had to have gone to the hospital and gone through all that just to make sure they don't lose a limb.
So interesting. Little tangent here. I got a question for you. Do you know about cranberries?
About what?
Cranberries.
What about
Cranberry
'em?
spiders?
Someone is a little informed. Cranberries.
Wow, a
How
little.
they're harvested. Do you know how cranberries are harvested?
In I don't know, like a bog, you would call
Yeah,
it?
so
Cranberry bog.
it's called cranberry bog, and what they do is they flood it, and what ends up happening is the cranberries will float. However, when they interview you for this job, if you decide to ever, viewers, to do a
Cranberry bog aficionados.
Yep.
That watch.
what ends up happening is in the interview they look at you and said, "How okay are you with spiders?" And if you lie and say, "Oh, I'm fine," they're like, "No, you have to understand. When they flood those bogs, there are wolf spiders, like
Ugh.
you see on your phone. They don't hurt you,
You don't like spiders?
I hate spiders.
but here's
Really?
the thing: they
Yeah.
don't like water, so they will crawl up the tallest thing in that bog, aka you.
That's why you have to drown yourself in the bog.
No, you just have to get used to Jerry, the wolf spider, crawling on your face because it doesn't like water.
Spiders aren't bad, man. They're helpful for the most part.
Yeah, I don't care. They can go away from my house.
Yeah,
They
as
can
a
go
kid-
everywhere else.
Hey, do you hate mosquitoes?
Oh, I hate
I
mosquitoes.
love mosquitoes.
You are weird. Going back to you.
They're
Thanks, spiders, for minimizing.
necessary evil.
I'll just get a bunch of frogs. Don't they also eat mosquitoes?
They eat more.
Dragonflies are better mosquito predators.
Yeah, dragonflies. are
Let's
a lot
get some dragonflies in here.
For the
Someone ship me some dragonflies.
I'll say this: as a kid, I thought dragonflies spit fire, or dragonflies spit fire.
I mean, it's not that far off if you really don't know. As a kid, you hear dragonfly and you're like, dragon.
What do you mean by it's not that far off?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Like as a kid, like
Well, actually-
believing that dragonflies
they
spit
do.
fire.
They
It's like
spit acid.
it's
not
not
that far from
crazy.
fire.
I'm saying it's not that crazy. I guess
You're not that insane.
as a kid to believe that.
But yeah, I would pick up copperheads, put them in my pockets as a kid. We would deal with all sorts of critters growing up.
Snakes.
I'm
and,
sorry, copperheads.
Copperheads.
That's a
mom-
snake.
My mom's got several stories of little toddler Alec going through the backyard as a backyardigan,
Look.
young backyardigan.
That's a
Look,
good show.
Like Tedro. That is a good show.
I don't think it was
Like
that when I
Tedro
was a
is with
child.
spiders. An only good snake is a dead snake, in my opinion.
Snakes are great,
And
I
that's
don't-
because I've almost died no less than 3 times to snakes.
I don't think there's any animals that I actively dislike that I can think of right now. Like that I'm like, if I see it, I start to freak out, you know?
Feral hogs.
I've never seen a feral hog in person that wasn't behind a fence.
Feral.
who is that?
But yeah,
Um,
feral hogs. Those are dangerous.
I know they are,
Hogs are.
but like the vast majority of animals in the animal kingdom, as long as you stand your ground, you're good. If I saw a polar bear, I would freak out. Like, cause like that's a polar bear is not going to care.
I don't know. Bears, like
No, a polar bear is going to kill me
a
if
black
it sees
bear
me.
or a brown bear, really, but black bears especially. Like I've heard so many stories of like from park rangers or whatever, like being interviewed. Just people out on like the Appalachian Trail or something, like on a
Appalachian.
Okay.
Saw that coming. Out on a run or something, like a woman by herself, just out on a morning jog or whatever, and then just a bear comes out of nowhere because it crossed the path of the mom and the baby, and the woman gets mauled to death.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to see a bear in person,
Yeah,
especially a polar bear. Polar bears will kill you just
bears are
because.
bears are freaking vicious if you catch them on a bad day.
Well, it's not just that; it's a mother and her cubs.
Yeah,
it's the same thing for
that is the worst
most
scenario.
That's the same for most predators. Like, if you see, like for example, kangaroo, and you're attacking a kangaroo as a predator, it will
Kangaroo
ditch
Jack.
its joey, as what it's called, to save itself. Because at the end of the day, it goes, "Oh, I can make another one." But a predator will risk life and limb for their kids.
Life
Cubs.
and limb.
But anyway,
Well, goats. Kids.
anyway, I need to go to the bathroom.
Son of a bean.
Son of a bean. Figure out what y'all want to talk about.
I love Red 40.
Anyway, getting back to it.
I love Red 40.
I love you, Daddy.
I love you, Daddy.
I love you, Daddy.
Do the roar.
Do the work.
Neither are.
All right. Nice to know we share one brain cell at a time.
Not a sponsor.
Well, let's not be
No
today.
brain cells.
Oh, what was that?
His chair.
So
It's
boom.
it's a brain cell saying
that would freak me out.
That'd
It
be
just
really
came
fun.
out of nowhere.
it's mom saying it's my turn with the brain cell.
You know, I saw Shrek the Third in theaters 3 times.
Lucky.
Lucky threes.
You darn right.
I didn't
3
have the money.
separate
I
times.
wasn't rich.
You
So-
and your freaking
so-
Vermont.
You're questioning or you're quoting 4 right there, and you brought up 3. Interesting.
Well, yeah, I saw Shrek the Third in theaters 3 times.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna bring up. Oh, I saw Shrek the Fourth in theaters 1 time. Does it make sense?
Okay, you know what? I'll give you credit for that.
Does it make sense?
I will also say I don't think Shrek the Fourth was good. I think it should have ended after the 3rd.
Which one was the 4th?
4th one was Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh, I liked that one.
I didn't enjoy it.
I thought the 3rd was probably the worst one.
I say good.
I like the third one.
I like the 4th one because of all the ogres.
I say good things come in 3s, and it should have been that way.
Oh,
But
gosh.
that's besides the point.
Besides what point?
Just trying to get back on topic.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
So, what else about my childhood?
I don't know.
I mean, I had a minimum wage job going through high school. I was a lifeguard for a YMCA.
Did you save any lives?
A Yimika?
It's
A Yimka.
A Yamaka. You know.
I saved 1 life, and
Whoa.
2 other times was I
Huh?
wanted to strangle the parent for not teaching their kid better.
Idiots.
Well, no. So little kids don't know better, and as a lifeguard, they teach you this. They said, "Hey, when let me ask y'all this: as a kid and swimming in the pool, y'all did the hold your breath game, right?
No.
Yeah, see how long you can hold your breath.
Underwater, yeah.
What?
You've never done this,
No.
anyway. So you and a group of friends
I'd
would
hold my breath above water so I would survive.
anyway. You and a group of friends would do this
What?
thing
Still
called
pass out.
at least what was told to us was it was called tea party. So you would hold your breath and everyone would go under at the same time and see how long they
Yeah,
could do
you
that.
sit
And
on the floor.
yeah.
What?
So what they teach us
This is some
is
weird games.
the best way to do this is you exhale
Yeah.
all your CO2.
Right? I would just do that on my own time.
Well, here's the thing. Your body tells you when to breathe by the amount of CO2, not the amount of oxygen left. So, when you're down there, you lose oxygen, but you still don't think you need to know how to breathe. So kids would pass out quietly. And that was the thing that went against drowning. You see drownings like everyone's feeling. It's like, no. They would go quietly. And you're like, how did the lifeguard not see this? When you watch videos, or when we watch videos, they were quiet. They have no strength to flail. But that's besides the point. So yeah, this kid is playing Dead Man's Float, just floating, holding breath. And I'm watching him. I'm like, ma'am, I'm looking over the lady. I'm like, ma'am, get your child to stop. No, he's fine. Sitting there on their phone. Ma'am, get your child to stop. No, he's fine. He's on his phone. All right, fine. Kept watching the kid. At the exact same time, my boss is practicing with the other lifeguards, like getting proficient at their job, just getting better, which is good. I
Swimming.
love my boss. Swimmingly, yes. So, and then one time, I'm looking, see the kid come up for air, go back down. Well, one parent, it was for swimming lessons, one parent just looked up from their phone, noticed this kid going flat, and go, oh my God, he's drowning! Like freaking the fuck out. So I'm like, okay, now I have to actually act, even though I've seen this. Like this kid is having fun, floating by himself, the wrong direction though. Face down instead of face up. So I call it, I go, I get the kid, I flip him over, I put him on the side, and little girl goes, what's going on? Like, had no idea what the hell happened. Attention span of a goldfish. The mother, why did you grab my kid? And I was livid.
She freaked out.
She freaked out me
And
for
then-
putting my hands on the child that was drowning, quote unquote drowning.
Yeah, but wasn't she the one that screamed in the?
No, it
The
was
first
another
place?
parent. It was another concerned parent. That's all. So, like, I don't mind the concerned parent. Like, if someone is concerned and they bring it to my attention and they're wrong, that's fine.
Yeah.
You're being concerned. But like I said,
The other
I
one
saw the
freaking
issue.
out.
I saw the issue 20 minutes in ahead, told the mother, stop. Get your child to stop because they're not listening to me. I have to
Mhm.
go to the parent now. So I flip her over. I'm like, you okay? She's scared because she didn't know what the heck happened. She starts crying for her mother. Mother's yelling at me. And
So stupid.
I walked away because I'm like, I'm not dealing with this. Well, mother doesn't, console a small child. She comes after me. And so eventually I walk into the back hallway and she follows me, which is perfect. There's no cameras. There's no kids. There's no boss.
Beat her up.
Wow. No.
You mugged her.
No, I yelled at her.
Swapped her.
I yelled. I was
Yeah.
livid. I can't remember. All I know is I walked into the back hallway and I walked out happy.
With an extra $100.
I was red with rage. With an extra good one. So yeah, I get back on the stand after I told the person that came to relieve me because you have to have someone on the stand. I go and I take my spot. And about an hour later, my boss comes to get me. He's like, "Hey, I need to talk to you about something." Okay. So she pulls me in her office, goes to the other person on the stand. I'm sitting there like, "Yeah, what can I do?" Did you say anything to this mother? I can't remember. Well, she came and complained about you. Okay, so you saw what happened, right? Yeah. Am I well within my rights to say whatever I said? Not exactly. You said some messed up things to her. I don't remember. I was I was angry. I was pissed.
He was drunk.
When she goes, "Hey, I was drunk as a 16-year-old."
Well,
I was more like 17 at the time.
16-year-old lifeguard drunk.
see, 16-year-old
Great.
drunk lifeguard saves life. Drowning.
Yeah, so anyway, she goes, "All right, so I want you to know there are certain things you can't say, but since you don't remember, I'm not going to repeat them to you. Just be better in the future." I'm like, "So I'm not getting punished for this?" No, I would have said the exact same thing. What did I say? I should not repeat it. Okay. Didn't get in trouble for that.
Fair enough.
The other incident I had was that actually ended up saving someone is some kid dived off the 10-foot dive and wasn't good at diving. If you don't know, you're falling pretty fast, and if you land in such a way as like you're flat, you can get whiplash and have a neck injury.
Yeah.
So the kid, thankfully, was not paralyzed, but like he could barely move from just the sheer whiplash and the sheer like damage that was done in that instant.
Ugh.
And so I'm just sitting there watching. And I'm like, he's not moving. Shit. Like that was the first like fight or flight instinct I think I had at that job. Because I'm like, now training's gonna pay off. Let's see it. And if I don't do this right, this kid is gonna be paralyzed. I haven't been told any other news about it other than we managed to get him out and he was alive. I don't know if he's paralyzed. I don't know if I did everything right, but I still kept my job. So
He's
that must be I must have done it correctly.
He's
That's what you oughta do.
he's probably a manager at a Baskin Robbins now.
That was a why Baskin Robbins?
I was thinking of Ant-Man.
Yeah. All right. That's what I was thinking of too. I'm making sure I was on reference there.
Wow. Okay, that was out of left field. But yeah,
Pulled him out.
yeah, pulled them out. So there's a specific thing you have to do is like you have to use their arms as a neck brace.
And give him an ice cream cone.
Sure. But yeah, you get them in the neck brace. Use their arms as a neck brace. Keep in mind, I'm in 13 feet of water. I don't have access to my arms.
Like arms up.
Like they have to be flat.
Careful. Careful.
And like you're squeezing their arms. I'm trying to be loud away from the mic to give a good example. But
There you
and at the entire time you're treading, making sure you're not kicking their body, that there's enough motion, that their entire body is flat.
Mm.
Like there's a lot of things that go into this. And
Are you good at treading?
yes, at the time I was fantastic.
Excellent. That's a good skill to have.
That's a random skill to be good at. But anyway. And then the worst part is you got to think about how you're going to get this person out of the water without further damaging them. And so there's a lot of practice that we've had with spinal injuries and neck injuries to get them out perfectly. And I'm so thankful that my boss harped on us so much about this because we executed flawlessly that day.
Yeah, it finally happened one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They carry the boats.
Man, I wonder how that kid's doing now. Probably an adult.
Oh.
That'd be interesting. Let's Google him. What's his
Let's
name?
Google.
I didn't know his
Oh,
name.
just
It
kidding.
was a random kid at summer camp.
Baskin
What's the
Robbins
young lad's
manager.
name?
Houston,
Baskin Robbins.
Texas. Austin, Texas.
Google it.
Anyway.
Robbins manager. Store number 05834.
Why is there a zero? They don't
It's
put
always
zeros.
a zero.
There's always a
They
zero
don't put zeros on store numbers. Why
Yeah.
would they bother with a zero?
because there's more than
There-
that.
Yeah. So like there's say there's
No, it's
What? Why?
you've
Why there's
you've never seen a Chick-fil-A with 015623, for example.
I don't look at the store numbers.
You have a lack of attention to
you
detail.
know the social security numbers that start with 0.
Yeah.
What? No, there's not.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, there is not.
Prove
If
it.
you have a social security number that starts with 0, go ahead and put that down
Sit
in the comments.
Sit in the comments.
Along with your mother's
Along
maiden
with your
name.
mother's
Just the
maiden
first
name,
3. All I need is the
Name of
first
your
3.
first pet, where you had your first kiss.
Where
anything.
you met your
Favorite
loved
vacation
one.
spot.
Yeah.
Favorite color.
Mother's maiden. Yeah.
What street you grew up on.
And any other
Your favorite-
identifying information
Your
that we may be
favorite
used.
teacher in school.
Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had a couple issues with
The law.
the law actually as a child as well.
He's been arrested.
No.
You're a scofflaw.
Am
A,
I
a
what?
scofflaw.
A scofflaw.
What is that?
Do you know what a scoff? I'm surprised you know what a scofflaw is.
Explain. Like, give me the definition.
A scofflaw is. Do you know?
It's
You
like-
don't know.
No,
It's
I
like-
know. Well,
like
I know.
being-
I know very basically what scofflaw is.
I'm going to use a different reference.
It's from the Prohibition era, isn't it?
It's like being a white whale to to the police. Like,
What?
What?
you keep getting away with stuff. You are
An informant.
you are a
essentially.
repeat criminal, but you keep getting away and they can't get you.
It's
Oh.
it's kind of my attention.
That's called
that
being good at your job at that point.
I am not thinking of the term scofflaw. I am thinking of the drink, the scofflaw.
Oh,
I don't know.
why would I say the scofflaw?
Anyway.
I'll look it up while
A scofflaw is a cocktail from the. It was either the prohibition era or just after the prohibition era, where people would make the cocktail scoff law because it was to scoff the law banning alcohol sale, and so it was a cocktail that was made around prohibition.
What does the ghoul have to say?
scofflaw, a person who flouts the law, especially by failing to comply with a law that is difficult to enforce effectively.
So,
Oh, like jaywalkers.
Yeah, so we're all,
no,
we're all scofflaws.
so I wouldn't say for my chance that it wasn't a scofflaw.
Or like somebody that doesn't wear their seatbelt when they drive.
Wow.
Scofflaw is a contemptuous law violator.
Look up.
No.
Look up.
It did also come up with a
scofflaw
cocktail.
Yeah, it's very famous. That's what I was thinking of.
History. Named after the term given to those who clandestinely sipped spirits throughout the prohibition.
Yeah. Look at the hiccups.
Maybe don't.
Sorry, what were you saying? What'd you do?
You knew.
So
finish.
yeah.
What, do you want me to read the recipe?
Well, yeah, it sounded cool.
Let's just
Yeah,
do it on the next episode.
The next person that wants a
We can do
scofflaw.
a cocktail episode. That'd be pretty cool. Let us
That'd
know
be
in the
fun.
comments if you want us to do a, themed episodes or what have you.
So yeah.
What'd you do?
I wouldn't say reckless.
Reckless
but
driving.
I was
reckless driving.
So the little backstory. I was going to prom. I was running a little late and meeting my date there.
With
Cute girl actually.
oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I just wish I had the cojones as a kid to actually pursue that.
The Cajones.
But that's besides the point. So I'm driving. I'm running a little late because I was trying to look my best for this girl I obviously had a crush on.
As one does.
And so
What's the young girl's name?
it doesn't matter.
first-
She's
just
married
first
now.
name. Come on.
She's married now.
It's Beverly.
It is. Is it?
Is it Beverly?
No, the
Dang it.
the date
I
at
thought
the
you were close.
time
I was really hoping it
was
Beverly.
a girl named Jordan, and
Oh, a boyish girl.
yeah, I was gonna say it's a boyish name, which is weird, but I didn't doubt her. We ran a cross country together, and I very much had a crush on her. I highly doubt she'll see this, but if she ever
Oh.
does, well,
she was a boyish girl.
No,
Cross country, Jordan.
she was cute, and I very much enjoyed hanging out with her. And I thought maybe I have a chance with that, but
Say it with me.
It was a pastime.
Say it with me.
This was all in the past.
You missed out, Jordan. You missed out.
nah. But
How was I supposed to know you were going to
yeah,
say?
yeah. What,
My mind reader.
but anyway, so the speed limit on this road was 80. It's a back roads country road that was 80. and
80?
yeah, 80.
Good gracious alive.
Love Texas, right? Actually,
That's
no. I
awesome.
was going.
I've never seen 80 on a sign.
It was 70. I was going 85. My bad.
Wow. Okay.
All
My
right.
bad.
Let's just
Reckless
lie.
driving.
But
Let's just
yeah,
lie on the record.
but tollways in Texas are 80. I will point that out.
Thanks a tollway.
You're joking, right?
I don't joke.
Tollways
Joke.
are roads that you could pay a little extra money and you would get to a place faster because a lot less people would travel that. It's also like a more straight line path.
That's retarded.
I agree. But since a lot less people traveled it because no one wants to pay $2 to get to point A to point B.
Oh, that's
Um,
nothing. You go ahead and keep talking.
But
I'm gonna look
80
this up.
miles an hour was the tollway. But I digress. So 70 miles, I'm going 85. And it's a road I had been intimately familiar with as I would go. I would be rented out to other camps for lifeguards that needed lifeguards for like their summer camps. And this was one of the roads I had to go on
You
every day for
sold
summer.
your labor.
My boss sold me out
His boss sold him out.
or sold me to other people.
You got pimped out.
You can call it that, but that's besides the point. So I'm going
You're
and
a water prostitute.
so I'm going and I'm like shit, I'm running late. And then I see the boys in blue are behind me or not behind
It brings
me.
a
direct-
new meaning to the word hooker.
Wow. Yeah.
Fishing.
Yes, that is true. But the boys in blue are behind me and they're gaining. I'm like, fuck. But like I said, I'm intimately familiar with this road. I know exactly where I'm fucking at. At the end of the road, it goes from 70 to 35.
Oh
Like,
no.
really quick. The reason why is because it's a downward hill about good 30, 40 degree winding through woods. There are no turnoffs except for the end. Throughout the summer that I was stationed out or like rented out there, I could hit those roads going about 45. This is different because I'm scared shitless. So at 9:30 at night, I'm going about 50 through winding roads in a Nissan Pathfinder. This is an SUV. This is not something I should have been doing.
As one
Right.
does.
And this is also roads that are like heavily invested with deer. I could have died.
Oh yeah.
But that's besides the point. At the end, I'm sitting there like, I got to do something or I'm fucked. Excuse my language. Do something or I'm caught. And so there's
He's dying.
Just drop something.
there's two things I could have done or three things I could have done. One was there was a church that was right before a T-split. The T-split went to the right and made a left turn. Couldn't see. But the turn to the left went on for a good couple miles, which you could see if anyone was going down that one. So I said, okay, this is how I escape. I threw my shit into the church parking lot, put in park, turn off my lights, open, close doors so the lights turn off, and I just
Yeah.
sat there and waited. And I'm like, God, if you're real, and I'm at your church,
I'm
Please.
sitting in the church
I-
parking lot.
I start praying because it was a gravel park lot, so that means dust. There's stuff in the air, like you can tell.
Yeah.
About 30 seconds, 45 seconds later, I didn't realize he was that close because he started like very far behind me. He comes by, I see his lights go up, and I see he gets a T-way, takes a moment, and then goes right. Like I was hoping he would have, because the problem was to the left. So I just kind of sat there and I watched his lights like disappear through the through the treeway. I'm like, oh my god. And I waited a good minute to like make sure he was gone, and then I fucking
You got out. You went right into the chapel and you started praying.
no. I went to prom,
To pray at prom.
and yeah,
You didn't
and
give your date a ride.
no,
It's messed up.
she lived she lived closer to prom than I did. And she's like, I'm not gonna have you come all the way out here when I live 3 minutes down the road from me. I'll just go myself. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
it's fine with me.
Did she even go with you?
One
I
of
didn't
the
have
other
a date. I didn't have a date to prom.
one of the other
Neither of them.
terrible things about dances in high school
What?
proms or homecoming or whatever
What are you talking
was the going to your friend's house, like the group's house, and taking pictures.
Oh yeah.
about? What?
I hated that.
So when you had a date in prom, you would,
Thanks.
for most time,
What?
Awesome. Huh?
What'd I do?
No, I'm talking to him.
when you like I said, when you have a date,
Oh,
When one
you
has
were
a
going like this. So.
yeah, I'm just trying to get
No,
situated.
I will say,
When one has a date to prom,
We-
one
we-
typically.
I did help out a best friend of mine. Man named Tyler. He was going with a girl that like he had a chance with. And I
Oh.
think you both know what I mean by that.
I
And
don't.
And so okay. I'll just leave it at that. So he had a chance. And so what we did was he went up to my friend and said, "Hey, I want to borrow your 1979 truck. Like good truck, really pristine, kept in great condition. All right. What do you want? I want to be able to take her to prom in this. It's really nice, really cool." And he goes, "Okay. But we're not going to leave you hanging, brother." So we went out with our limited cash at that time. We went and bought like a bunch of wax, seat cleaners. We went to the car wash. Like we took care of it.
What's the
Yeah.
wax for?
The truck
Yeah, the truck.
cleaning.
Have you never waxed the side of your like vehicle or anything like that? It makes it shiny, it makes it pristine.
It's like
No.
beautiful.
No.
I mean, I could tell you don't.
Yeah, I don't.
I was gonna say, take a like if you ever got off time and you're curious about it, take a look at like people that really care about their cars and see like how much they wax.
Wow.
Often.
Yeah. It helps protect the paint. It does a lot of things. But that's besides the point.
Nice shiny coat.
We got him this
I love a bright coat.
pristine looking truck at the end. 1979, like antique.
Hmm.
As far as I know, his date went very well. I'll leave it at that.
You got a second date.
Do you got that?
You got a second date.
Yep. He did get a second date.
Good
from
for
what I
him.
know.
Oh,
Jordan, you missed out.
But like I said, that's pretty much interesting things I'm willing to share from my childhood.
I wish we knew Jordan's last name.
back to the toll roads.
Back to the what?
The toll roads. The most
Toll roads.
expensive toll road in the United States is in
New Jersey.
Pennsylvania.
Oh.
Whoa.
I thought it was gonna be New
How
Jersey.
much?
$17.
West to east Pennsylvania. It goes the whole way from Pittsburgh to Philly.
Okay.
How much do you think?
17.
No,
That's my best
I
guess.
see the cost right here, so I'm not going to say it.
That's my best guess. I can't read that far.
$70.80.
What?
$70.
No, it is not.
Yeah,
For how many miles?
west to east side of PA.
For a 2-axle vehicle?
Hmm. It is the most expensive road
Where do you
in
see
the
the
United
money for?
States.
Oh, there it is. Without Easy Pass?
Yeah. So Easy Pass is just like you have a pass and they automatically like bill your account. It's
How
just-
far do you get?
It doesn't
Uh,
matter. Like they will bill it, and like, it's like a credit card. They will bill you, and then at the end of the month, you pay that amount. But without an Easy Pass, they have to send that by mail, and it's normally 2 times as expensive.
I should sue. I've never even used this road. What makes that so special? West to east isn't even that far.
And Pennsylvania has the highest gas tax in the nation as well.
And it has the
pay
lowest
for its
high
roads.
education rate.
Hey. It still doesn't make sense to me.
That's why. It's because you guys are freaking stupid.
That's
Charging $70 to go 4 hours.
Oh, pulling out the notes.
What? What are you doing?
So you're a
What are you doing?
I mean both of you really. You video
Both of us.
game
Oh yes, we are. I am a nerd.
professionals.
I would not say professional, but I am a nerd.
He's a nerd.
Have you ever played Ratchet and Clank?
I have actually. That was a good childhood game, along
You
with
piece
of
Sly
garbage.
Cooper. Like the PlayStation, like that time was really good.
It's my
Enjoyed it.
favorite video game series.
Ratchet and
Is
Clank?
Ratchet and Clank. Yeah.
I was-
Ratchet and Clank and Assassin's Creed. But
Name them all in order.
in order, I can.
I can do the
Go.
Sly Cooper series.
Ratchet
ahead.
and Clank, Ratchet and Clank 2 Going Commando, Ratchet and Clank 3 Up Your Arsenal. After that, there was Ratchet and Clank Size Matters, but the Size Matters was only in the PSP. And it was ported to the PlayStation 2, so I don't really count it. Then there was Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction, Ratchet and Clank A Crack in Time, Also, before Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction was Secret Agent Clank, which was a spinoff of the original Ratchet and Clank series games. Then Crack in Time. Then after that, it was crap. What was the sixth one? Ratchet and Clank, Crack in Time. Then it was Into the Nexus.
No.
Before that was A Quest for Booty. Before that was All for One, or after that was All for One.
You're getting them a little mixed up. I'm so surprised you're naming all these.
I can name.
This is a huge list.
Yeah, there's like 20 of them, I think. There's Ratchet and Clank Full Frontal Assault, which is after All for One. No.
Correct.
Yeah. And then Into the Nexus was after that.
Yep.
Then Into the Nexus. After Into the Nexus was the Ratchet and Clank reboot or remake of the original game, which was based off of the movie of the same name,
Yeah.
which was a reimagining of the original from Captain Quark's point of view. Shout out to Captain Quark. Then after that was the newest game in the series, which is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which is a continuation of Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus.
Nerd.
Outside of the series.
Yeah.
What did I miss?
I
I mean,
think you got them all.
I was gonna say your game series is a lot.
I missed
more
the
than
mobile
mine.
games. The mobile games are
And
stupid.
Sure, it's mobile.
Oh, Ratchet and Clank Collection, that doesn't count. That's the Ratchet and Clank Collection is just the first 3 games in one trilogy.
Yeah.
That you can get on the PlayStation 3. I own almost all of these. I don't-
Holy crap, that's a lot.
I've
Yeah.
never played Full Frontal Assault because it's like it's not the same as the other Ratchet and Clank games. It's like a I don't know what you call it, like a Bloons Tower Defense game, but it's not. It's like
Humans versus zombies.
No, I was
gonna
Plants
say,
versus zombies.
I
Humans
can
versus zombies.
bring back Bloons Tower Defense. God, that is old.
it's not it's not like Bloons. It's like it was mini games. Oh, I forgot Ratchet and Clank Dreadlocked.
Yeah.
That came after Ratchet and Clank 3 Up Your Arsenal.
Yeah.
Dang
2005.
it. Also, fun fact, not called Dreadlocked in European countries. It's called Ratchet and Clank Gladiator. Suck it.
Why?
Why is it European lock?
Why did they change it, the name?
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly why. Gladiator, in my mind, does make more sense because the game was a gladiatorial combat-based game where you played basically an enslaved Ratchet that was kidnapped and put into an arena. But the name of the arena was the Dread Zone, so they called it Dreadlocked.
Describe briefly
I can
Just
go into
Ratchet and
so much
Clank.
detail.
in general.
In detail?
No.
What did you
I
say?
said
No,
briefly.
briefly describe. Do not go
Um,
into an hour-long crusade about the lore.
Oh gosh, I could do a 3-hour-long episode of just Ratchet and Clank. Okay, basically, not to be cliche, but in a galaxy far, far away, it's called the Solana Galaxy is where it starts out at. Ratchet is a young alien known as a Lombax. You don't find that out until, I think, the second game. And he is a mechanic on a planet by himself, unless you're talking about the reboot, but I don't go by the reboot. I go by the original. And a mysterious plane crashes on his planet. He finds Clank, who is this robot who's trying to find help. Clank is looking for Captain Quark, who becomes a reoccurring character in the series. Without having spoilers, he comes back often and gets them into mischief. And basically, every game, Ratchet is asked to help save the galaxy from an impending threat. The first game being what gets him into being a hero, which is a man named Chairman Drek, who is basically this guy, member of the Blarg species, and he has a penchant for building massive factories on planets, using up all of the planet's resources, overpolluting them, and then deciding, hey, I'll just move all my factories to another planet and make a bunch of money. And he keeps doing that and then decides, what would be so much smarter is I can invest in real estate. So he uses force to go to all these different planets, harvest their resources, and then he mushes them together into one super planet that he is then selling to rich species that'll be like, hey, come live on my planet, and unknown to them, when you get here, I'm going to start factories and do it all over again. And Ratchet's like, dude, the F. And then starts fighting him. And every game, new problem, almost always a new galaxy. Ratchet uses his wrench, which is his main weapon, and it's full of different gadgets because the world of Ratchet and Clank is like very heavily weapons based.
Mhm.
There's Gadgetron, there's Megacorp, there's GrumbleNet.
Weapons.
Weapons. They're all weapons manufacturers. And he uses the weapons. Also, bolts are the currency in all the games because everything is like heavily robotic
Yeah.
themed. And yeah, and then in the later games, you start to find out Ratchet's like the last living Lombax, and you find out why that is, and he's trying to figure out where the rest of his people went. And it gets more into the lore of his Lombax history, whereas in the beginning games, it's mostly, hey, how am I going to save the galaxy this time?
Does
Pretty
any of this ring a bell to you?
So I didn't play a lot of Ratchet and Clank, but the games that I did play, yeah, very much combat heavy. And I very much enjoyed it as a kid because, small attention span, watch, big explosion, bolts, currency going up. It's like, yeah,
It's-
you did a good job. Congratulations on
incredible.
saving the planet or saving
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
galaxy. That
And what was great about it is like every level was a different planet.
one. Mm-hmm.
And it was awesome. They were all colorful and different species. It was awesome. Upgradable weapons, different armors that you could buy.
What is your favorite game, Caden?
My my favorite game.
Yeah.
All right. So when you say favorite game, are you going to talk about like game series I put the most hours into,
If
or the one that I
you're
enjoyed
getting a
the most?
tattoo of a logo or something from your favorite game, like what game is that
Oh,
gonna
wow.
be from?
I would definitely get Ratchet's wrench if I was
Really?
going to do that. Yeah. Because,
You really like that game.
yeah, if
Out of all the games,
out of all the games that I've ever played, Ratchet and Clank series is my favorite series besides Assassin's Creed. But honestly, I couldn't think of what I wouldn't want to get the Assassin's logo on me. But like if I like a little Ratchet, I don't have any tattoos. But if I were going to, like I remember for a time I was trying to figure out, since I don't get tattoos, what would be something that I could like have to like represent me in my room. And everything or the thing that I always came thinking back to was I could get Ratchet's wrench. It's pretty cool looking, just a big wrench, huge wrench.
what's yours?
So the game I put the most hours into, game series I put the most hours into, thousands of hours. Pokemon series, easily.
Really?
Mhm.
I thought you were a Halo fan.
So I did enjoy Halo,
I
but
love
it
Halo.
was not the most hours.
I've never really played it.
You love it.
Well, we played the arcade shooter Halo.
Mm,
That was like the one time I played it was at Myrtle Beach together.
yeah, we took a trip to Myrtle Beach and we spent, I think it was $80 at one of the like giraffe. So it was the giraffe. It was for someone's birthday and they wanted to play Halo.
Yeah,
and it was the
there's four of us.
it
We
was
kept
basically
dying.
the Jurassic Park shooter.
Yeah.
So we were playing that, but Halo.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Those don't
this is
count.
bullshit.
It was a lot of fun.
It was fun, but I'm
They're
like,
fun, but it's not like
I'm
it's
like,
not like the Halo.
well, I'm sitting there like, why are we fighting the flood? Get the hell out! Like, if you know the Halo lore, it's like,
Not even a little bit.
do not interact with the flood. Anyway, so most Pokemon, longest or most amount of hours I put into a game series was Pokemon.
Which one? Is there a specific color or how is it done? Color,
it's color.
shape.
So I will say the series or the game that I probably put in the most hours into was Emerald, to include ROM hacks.
Is that Gen 1? What's ROM hacks?
So ROM hacks are like the creative people will take the game, modify the game files in such a way, and release it to the public so it has a spin. So it's not the same game.
So you played a modded Emerald.
I would
A
do
DLC.
Listen,
DLC.
more along that route
Oh,
of
okay.
modding. But yeah, I put in like a good, I want to say 1,000 hours into that. But the
Wow.
for modded or for adjusted game, that. But the game that I played the most hours, not modded, just kept replaying, was the spin-off Mystery Dungeons Explorers of Sky. And I was actually talking to a bunch of friends about this the other day.
I've never heard of this game.
You turn into a Pokemon and you go into, essentially, without spoiling it too much, you have to
This is
save
a
the world.
Pokemon game?
Yeah, this is a Pokemon game.
I was not expecting that. I thought it was a horror game.
Nope. You get to save the world from darkness, essentially. Twice.
I haven't played much Pokemon. I played Yellow a lot when I was little because I found it at a yard sale. And when I got older, I bought Black version 2
Black 2. Okay.
and then did not ever beat that one. And Pokemon Rangers.
Rangers was a good spot. But yeah, that was the game I probably put in the most hours. The game I had the most fun in. Black Ops 2. Call of Duty.
Yes.
I didn't play it too much.
Yes.
My brother loved it.
Gosh, I love
so
Black Ops 2.
the
I was in
reason,
Modern
And one.
Warfare 3
the reason why
player.
I say this
on the Wii.
is
I like-
because
Just lost credibility.
yeah, you mentioned the Wii.
I
Get it.
I
Darn it.
prestiged. I got the like level 4 prestige on Modern Warfare 3 on the Wii. That's like the game I played the most, besides Advanced Warfare.
Boys, I'm sorry. I think I
wow.
lied.
Oh crap!
Smash Bros.
Oh boy.
No.
Yeah, you lost us
That-
both on
yeah,
that one.
I was gonna say backcountry
I
when
have-
I was growing up in the neck of the woods and I only had a Wii and Smash Bros. Brawl just came out.
Mhm.
Probably put in just about the same amount of hours as Pokemon.
I have such
Wow.
a hateful relationship
Well,
with Super
I-
Smash Brothers.
Yeah, mainly because you're bad at it. But
No,
that's besides the point.
It's not because I'm bad at it. It's like I don't like games where it's you versus other people, like side scroll fighter style. And also, I know that the friend group that we have enjoy it, in my opinion, way too much. And it ruins it for
They
me.
do get a little too
It is so
into it.
stupid.
But I will still keep.
I can't.
Play Mortal Kombat like an adult.
That's fair.
Don't play.
Would you play Mortal Kombat?
gonna use a fat penguin and I'm gonna freaking dive on this lizard king. It doesn't make any sense.
Someone lost to King DDD one too many times. But
Oh
that's
no,
besides
I don't lose. White Kirby all the
But-
way.
wow.
I don't play.
tongue on that one.
I don't play Super Smash Brothers often, but when I do,
It's White Kirby.
I play White Kirby. It's
Yeah.
my favorite version of Kirby.
So the game I had the most fun with, Call of Duty Zombies.
Yeah.
World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2. Did not really play Black Ops 3 too much. Way too much going into it for my father. And that was the reason why I enjoyed it so much is we bonded through zombies.
Yep.
He couldn't do multiplayer because, people are
Tryhards.
way too hard. But
Dyslexic.
zombies are simple. They run in a straight line, you shoot them and you run out of ammo, go back and pick up a weapon and go do it again.
Love zombies.
What
And
about?
so-
I never got into it.
Did you have
Do
a
you-
friend group that played it?
Do you want the lore?
Oh gosh.
No, I'm not going to do that.
There's so much lore with it nowadays, and
I
that
know.
also kind of turned me off of it.
Bro,
I was more into Advanced Warfare. I loved Advanced Warfare so much.
if you want to talk about lore,
Exosuits.
the most recent game movie that came out, if you know what I'm talking
I
about,
don't. Game movie.
Five
Mario.
Nights at I was gonna say Five Nights
No,
at
I'm just kidding.
Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's has
That-
a lot of lore.
That has so much lore.
What about Wally's Winter Wonderland or Wally's something Wonderland?
Don't know that one.
It's a Nicolas Cage movie. It's a Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff.
Anyway,
It's such a good movie.
but yeah,
He doesn't say a single word the entire film and kills many creatures.
But yeah, as a 10-year-old, that's when that series came out. Is when it got me hooked. And like as a 10-year-old, sure.
Mhm.
But there was a YouTuber that I watched constantly play it, and the
Who?
Markiplier.
Markiplier, of course.
The lore behind that was like so much. I was so interested in that crap.
Is he in the movie?
No, funnily enough,
I saw an edit of Markiplier
So-
killing one of the animatronics, and I'm like, is he actually in the movie? It's
so here's
just
the
good
thing.
at it.
They didn't know he was filming.
Yeah. No, here's the thing.
Beating to
The
death.
producers went up to him and said, "Hey, you are famous among this community as a player and he titled himself the king of the game because he was able to do what's known as 2020 mode, which is the hardest mode in the initial. So he's like, you are the king of this series. Would you like to play the security guard, which is the main role?"
Yeah.
And he turned it down because, from what I heard, he was filming his own movie at the time.
Dang.
Which, in my opinion,
It's his role.
that is his role. I would have loved to see it. But now, you know the movie Sathura? It's an old movie.
Zathura?
Yeah.
The one about the
Robots in
it's,
space.
it's like
and
Jumanji, but
in
space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I haven't seen it.
the older kid in that is now the security guard. He went from fighting robots in space to fighting robots in a pizzeria.
Isn't that the guy from Hunger Games?
I remember.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember
I
this.
can't remember his name.
Peta.
Peter.
Peta.
Peter.
It's not Peter. It's Peta. Like the
Peter.
bread.
Yeah, I know.
You son of a bean.
Stop cursing.
That's not a curse word.
The intention behind it is still the same.
Yeah,
People love
Walter.
beans.
Yeah.
Walter White.
In Zathura.
Zathura. Josh Hutcherson. There
Yeah,
he is.
him. He
He's
is
not
now-
very tall. He's a small king, short king.
Maybe it's a good looking lad.
Yeah, he's a good looking bread maker.
But yeah. So yeah, I was, like I said, very addicted to the lore and watching Markiplier play because I had nothing to do as a kid that wasn't, active outside of I lived out in the backwoods until I moved into town. There weren't any kids my age.
He hated tree nuts.
I'm allergic. That's a different story.
Well,
That's a different.
Wow, you
reason.
just put his,
You put my medical information
out there.
out to the public.
It's
Now
not a
I could get
security
I could,
HIPAA.
It's not a security code at all.
I could get assassinated by tree nuts tomorrow because of you.
They're gonna give
Are you
him
black-
brownies
What are you, black
with
noir?
tree nuts in them.
I wouldn't eat the brownies because I don't like chocolate.
He doesn't eat brownies. Blondies.
Oh, you want blondies?
Isn't that what they're called? The blonde brownies that are made of like not chocolate.
I think so.
Blondies.
I've
I
had
actually
blondies,
don't
and
know.
it just seems like a white brownie.
Isn't it like a caramel brownie?
I don't know if it has caramel. in it.
Google it. You have the power.
Blondies.
How many times
I
are we
keep
going to
forgetting.
reference Google today?
Well, we have to.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor
sponsor.
at all.
But we do have another sponsor.
I'm just gonna use Bing
We
just
do have
so
another
we.
sponsor.
Bing.
What am I looking
And
up?
now
Blondie.
a word from our.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid Shadow Legends.
What am I looking up?
Not a sponsor.
Brownies versus blondies.
Yeah, blondies. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Are we doing this now?
Hey.
Are we doing this now? No, he's,
I need a break.
he's looking it up.
Wake
real
up. A break
need a
from
break.
who? Now?
quick. Okay, we'll come back with our sponsor.
What do you need a break? Get it? Because they're white.
All right, so let's pull that back in.
A word from our sponsor.
So we brought this up at another time, which Big Al here never has had Big Red.
Al.
I've never had Big Red.
Big Al has never had Red 40 touch.
When did I tell
the-
you that? I don't remember
tastes-
telling you that.
So this was.
I mean, it's
uh,
true. I just don't remember telling you.
This was at the workplace, and we were talking about Red number 3 and Red number 40.
Red 40 is the best 40. Or is the
Red
best
40 is so good.
And this contains Red 40. And the reason why we brought this up is because Red 3 or Red 40 causes cancer, from what you said.
Well, I didn't say it.
Red 40 is so good.
But yeah, this
Known to the state of California. It's not printed on here,
It-
but
that is random.
it's illegal in the state of California now.
That is random. It's like only in the state of California does this cause cancer. Everywhere else is just fine.
I love a good twist off.
I mean, look at this. This is amazing.
Is it? I haven't tasted
Big
it.
Red. Red 40. So sweet, so smooth. Established in 1937.
That is not what I expected it to taste like. I thought it was going to be cinnamon.
No,
Doesn't it
it's-
taste so sweet
It's
and
a
so
it's
smooth?
a fruity drink.
It's not like Big Red Chew, or what's it called?
No, it's Big Red Chew. Yeah, you're thinking of it. Yeah, no, this
Big
is
Red.
like
If you don't chew Big Red, then you.
Say it.
No. Have you seen that?
I have seen. it,
Yeah.
That's from Talladega Nights.
That's a good
But yeah,
one.
That movie is based in North Carolina.
I love Lamp.
I love Lamp.
so one person
Rick, you love
Brett,
Lamp?
you love Lamp? I love Lamp.
one person that tried this, like they didn't try until they were teenagers, and I'll quote them on this, said, "This is what I imagine red tastes like. Like the physical color tastes like red." And I said,
To me, it kind of
"You
tastes like
you may be
bubblegum.
onto something, but I don't think it's the right answer."
To me, it tastes like bubblegum.
Code Red tastes like red to me.
That is true. Yeah.
And cherry stuff tastes like red to me.
Well, because cherries are red.
What?
Unless it's white cherries or black cherries.
They are?
Yeah.
Oh,
you ever seen a
gosh.
white cherry or a black cherry?
I have seen a black cherry. Yes.
I've seen a black cherry.
We had a black cherry tree in my backyard.
Wait a minute. I
We'd eat
have
them.
seen a white cherry.
Yeah,
I
they're
have
called
not.
white cherries
That's kind of
Is it-
amazing.
Let me guess. It's a
How do
cherry.
you
but
know
white.
that I've seen a white cherry?
because that's a.
Have you been watching me?
Don't check the cameras in your bedroom.
Don't look in the peepholes.
I thought those were there for decoration.
It's a giant 4K monitor.
Why
right
did
next
you
to it.
install those in my bedroom?
There's like 16 cameras around the ceiling in my bedroom.
Anyway,
I was like, oh,
Your wife is clueless to them.
whatever.
Honey, what you know about this?
Oh, those are decoration.
Oh
honey.
yeah, Alan came by and installed them not too long ago.
it came with the house.
He said that they increased the feng shui of the bedroom.
Black Ops. Black Ops 2. What
right,
about
but-
Black Ops 1 though?
So
Didn't you start on Black Ops 1?
I did start with Black Ops 1. And I'll say I started this when I think I was like 10, 11. One of my friends, he was a teenager and ended up working with him at the Y later. He got Black Ops 1. And when we played, this was my first kill in Black Ops 1. I don't want to consider it a kill, but this was my first, like,
I
this
love
in-
first kills.
this was my intentional kill.
I remember my first kill.
We saw-
intentional. I love first
We saw the
intentional kills.
explosive crossbow. And like we're as teenagers or as a teenager and as a young kid boy, we're like, explosive tipped crossbow. That's awesome. And he shoots me with it. And it takes me all of a quarter of a second. It takes me all of a quarter second to realize what I must do.
Die.
Dead sprint at him.
Oh yeah. Suicide bomb.
Yeah, suicide bomb. I'm like,
You know, if it works, it
I
works.
say the famous words.
What was MW2's the perk that you could get when you died? Was it Martyrdom?
It was Martyrdom.
Yeah, martyr.
Martyrdom.
I hated that in Last Stand. I was furious.
Hey, let's all get MW2 and let's play.
No.
What are we
Come
playing?
on, let's
What are we-
play. Let's play a couple rounds. We
Why
can get a
not?
group of us.
Why not Modern Warfare 3? It just came out.
So
Just came out. Came out like 2013.
No,
he's,
it-
talk-
it
he's
literally
talking about the
just came out.
remastered version.
It just came out.
Remaster versions.
So I do have Modern Warfare 2 because they reopened up the lobbies. But that's besides the point. Getting back to Black Ops.
They
Black Ops
did?
2. Yes, they did.
in the old MW2.
Yep. Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, and Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1.
Dude,
I think about that they reopened up the
we gotta
lobbies.
play all of them.
Let's play the new Modern Warfare 3.
Anyway, getting back to Black Ops.
I love Black Ops.
I love Black Ops 2.
3.
That was my into the Call of Duty game.
Mhm.
Is Black Ops 1. And we all played it.
I remember when
That's where the most nostalgia is Black Ops 1.
Yeah, I don't have any nostalgia with really any Call of Duty.
Yeah, I can see it in your eyes.
No recollection. No
Sorry.
recollection.
Red
Yeah.
40
Red 40.
contains benzene, a known cancer-causing substance.
Isn't benzene good
Cheers,
for you?
I'll drink to
Cheers,
that.
guys.
Gentlemen.
I'll drink to that. Why did we
Tap
do that
it.
like we're taking a shot?
There we go.
That's why I didn't do it.
Like
I
out
didn't
of
tap the
out
table.
of habit, just tap. But that's besides the point.
Wow, this sponsor sucks. I hope they never sponsor us again.
Wow. You
Big
know what?
Red,
I paid
Screw you.
good money for that.
It's Dr. Pepper.
Black Ops.
Yeah, I remember in like elementary school and middle school when Black Ops came out. I think Black Ops 2 came out when I was in 6th grade.
What you looking at over there?
We
I
didn't-
heard a noise.
There's a
We
light.
didn't have a PlayStation 3 console, so we didn't have it in the house,
Xbox gang all the way.
and we never owned Xboxes. So whenever people would talk about, oh, you got to try this new game, Black Ops just came out, Black Ops 2 just came out. I was like, can't afford it, can't play it. Sorry, guys, I don't have a PlayStation 3. I just got GameCube by that time.
GameCube was a really good console.
That was
Yeah.
a great console.
Pitfall: The
Great
Lost
console.
Expedition, one of the most underrated
Super Mario Sunshine.
games that nobody ever talks about. Look it up. Pitfall: The Lost Expedition. Now that is a lore that I could expound upon heavily, even though there's only 2 games of it that exist.
So I'm familiar with Pitfall.
Pitfall what?
The Lost Expedition.
I'm familiar with the original game Pitfall.
I think Troy Baker voices Pitfall Harry, the main character. I might be wrong about that.
Oh god dang! I just remembered.
Dang, look at the graphics on this game.
It's awesome.
It's pretty good.
At its very base level,
So
adventurer, much like Indiana Jones, crashes in a jungle, South America. Through a series of events, he finds tools to help him rescue fellow explorers, and then uncovers the secret behind the South American
Are you
jungle,
Wikipedia?
which was
yeah, like you're pulling
You're
this
just
shit.
reading off a freaking summary.
Oh,
which was-
it's behind your head right
which-
there.
oh yeah, they got a teleprompter.
Oh, the monitor. Sorry.
which was the lost city of El Dorado, which they find out is basically a code for a time traveling South American civilization.
You mean you said El Dorado? You mean the city of gold?
That's true. However, the city of gold in Pitfall was basically the city of time travel. I don't remember what gives them the ability to time travel.
All that gold, all the money for that research.
Maybe there was like a shaman, and there's a guy who was evil, and there's a scene that freaked me out when I was a kid of this guy who's like petrified because he died, and you find his dead body.
the Petrified Forest.
Yeah, no, you have to use dynamite to blow up this wall to find him.
Was like it was an Easter egg.
No, it's part of the main campaign.
Oh.
The dynamite was the last inventory item you unlocked. So that was like one of the last things you could find.
So I will say I do feel bad about this because when you said Pitfall, Lost Expedition, you reminded me of something. So my father was also I don't want to say a gamer, but he was very huge into games as like I was. So when we were buying a house out in the boonies, he said, "Hey, I want to entertain my kids." He got us a cabinet arcade machine. But this wasn't like a typical, like, your Pac-Man, the stuff you see at like pizzerias. This was a PC loaded with thousands, and I mean thousands of arcade games.
Yeah.
Jailbroken.
Pretty much. So it's like, yeah, I had Yakuza Pool. Whose foot is on my leg?
It's not me. I can't reach.
You had Yakuza Pool. You had
What are you doing under there?
airplane battles. And one of the games I played, and it lost track of how many times I played this game. Waku Waku 7. Well,
I don't know what that is.
it is, think Dragon Ball Z Fighters.
I can't.
Okay, well, disregard them. Think, okay, Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
So you have you have a super meter in Mortal Kombat, if I remember correctly.
No clue.
You made it seem like you're the expert.
No.
Yeah. Why you said play Mortal Kombat like a real man, and then
Yeah, I have no.
you've never played
Yeah,
it?
but I still don't play
So,
Mortal Kombat.
The left.
You can't. I can't even read that.
Yeah, it was a Japanese or it's a Chinese game. If you go back, I can tell you who the
I can't
characters
read
were.
that.
Oh, this one.
Which
Yeah.
one's Waku?
Waku Waku was the name of the fucking ball. Correction. The little. So the lore behind this, you would fight 7 characters to get what's known as the Waku balls, and think of it like the Dragon Balls from Dragon Ball Z. You collect all 7, you defeat the evil boss, or break a seal and defeat the boss, and you get a wish. Obviously, depending on the character you have, each has their own wish. I managed to beat the final boss, which is this black abomination here,
Hey,
That's I
careful.
know that sounds bad. I know that sounds bad.
Careful.
I was gonna say if you want to show the camera, so I'm not bad. It's
I'll pull it up.
thank
I'll
you,
pull it up.
thank you.
What the crap
Defend
is
my
that?
innocence.
He looks like a
He-
black Pac-Man.
He looks cute
He looks
until
like he looks like a
he-
black man.
wow, wow.
He looks like black
I'm
Pac-Man.
not gonna
That-
lie, this looks like something I'm gonna look up.
Or
Yeah,
or
look up Fernandez Waku Waku.
what's that?
That was the boss's name.
What's that big ball and chain that's in Mario? Super
Chain
Mario?
Chomp.
Chain chomp. He looks like a chain chomp.
That's not what I was thinking, but
Yeah. So that thing is like, oh, it's cute and innocent. No, this thing has like task spot level gameplay against you. So it's like, this is how it goes. The first fight you have against him, the first stick, there's 3 parts. Best 2 out of, or best 3 out of, or yeah, 2 of 3. Yeah, best 2 out of 3. If you destroy him so easily the first round, the AI kicks his difficulty up to maximum task spot levels. Like, he is reading your shit 5 parallel universes ahead of you. I managed to beat him in, I think I still have the picture of it. I think it was like 4 seconds with a character I never played. I just managed to get perfect comboed on him.
He kept the picture.
Yeah, I still have it, I'm pretty sure.
It's a Polaroid.
were you screaming, "Mom, get the camera"?
Get the camera. No,
Mom!
it was amazing because
Get here.
the arcade had a like, you could take a picture of it. 6 seconds.
Oh my gosh, you actually have the picture.
Yeah. I told you, like, this was a game I played hours on, and
Oh my gosh.
I perfect him in
That's
6
hilarious.
seconds.
Where are the seconds at?
So
Send me
you
that.
had a
Read this?
minute. You had
Oh.
a minute to beat the individual. This was
Send me that on Messenger.
send that to you on Messenger.
I'm gonna put it on the screen. Fernandez.
Oh, now you're using graphics.
Birth date, forget my age.
What?
Birthplace, absolute desu.
Whatever that means.
Height, I'm always changing. These are all quotations, I'm assuming from the character.
So yeah.
Weight, I'm free to be anything.
So
This sounds like a
He-
bad translation of
so-
Japanese.
so here's the thing.
Is this in English?
I
No,
got it.
Like, per the game, this is what happens. You break the seal and release a fairy that will grant your wish. However, for it to grant your wish, you need to beat this boss.
He looks like a chain chomp.
The boss starts off really small and grows to like the size of like a 10-story building, and the fairy makes you grow in the final stage to fight it like toe to toe. So that's why it's like the weight is ever changing, the height is ever changing, because he grows.
Does he say this?
No,
He doesn't tell you.
he doesn't talk, but like I said, if you
How they got the quotes?
Yeah, it says it's quoted and it's all in eyes.
that may be so.
You didn't
I-
play the
I-
DLC.
No, I didn't have this option because it was an arcade version. The NES version, because I looked it up. There's 2 extra characters that I was not able to fight. He was one of them. The other one was a sandbag. That was a bonus level boss.
Sandbags. Pretty cool.
A sandbag.
It was a sandbag.
Yeah.
It was literally, the name was called Bonus Kun, i.e. Japanese.
Careful.
But
Okay.
that's besides the point. I'm sorry for backtracking that far.
Yeah, what's your favorite video game?
Where we were at?
Your favorite video game?
Yeah, your favorite video.
I love Black Ops, by the way. Like, that is definitely a huge contender. But I would say, wait, what tattoo would you get?
Oh, yeah. Mm.
You coward. Well, he's thinking because he's,
Yeah,
gonna, he's
I
gonna
was
take
gonna say,
forever.
yeah, thank you.
Rude. Dishonored.
Really?
I love Dishonored.
I've
You know-
never-
you both know
I've
what
never played it.
Dishonored is?
I know what it is. I've never played it.
Do you know the storyline?
Not even. Well, it's like princess or something. Queen gets kidnapped, and then there's like an assassin that's like been, what do you call it? Framed.
So he was the protector of the queen and the princess. The queen gets murdered, princess gets stolen, and what's the little girl? You were the protector of the little girl. And then you were just left there because these guys were using magic. So they were like appearing out of thin air. They came, murdered the queen, and then just vanished and stole the princess. And they're like, the rest of the guards show up and look at you. You're standing over the queen's dead body, They're like, "What'd you do? You killed the queen. Where'd you put the princess?" And then you're like, "Ugh, I don't know." And then you get thrown in jail
What?
and you're
It's not
to
what it looks
be
like.
hanged the next day. So like, there's this underground crew of people that like help you break out, and they're like, "Hey, we know you were framed," and they like give you all this assassin equipment, and you're supposed to like you break out of jail eventually. You hook up with this like revolutionary crew, and then you kind of just uncover who actually did it.
Like restore your name to
And
glory.
you like there's a lot of corruption in the government, which is why these like freedom fighters like freed you in the first place because you're an amazing fighter or whatever, and they know you refrain because of the corruption. So they free you. You like fight the corruption. Uh, and the game, it was one of the first games that like have different endings dependent on how you went about the game. Like you could the objective would be like to kill this person, but you could just incapacitate them and then you could like turn them into someone and you didn't know that unless, someone told you or like you could do the whole game without killing a single person.
Yeah, I
Th-
did know
You
that
could do the
about it.
whole game killing everyone and you would get the bad ending.
I was
You
gonna
would get
s-
an ending where you're freed and your name's restored, but like everyone's like dead. Uh and everyone has no trust in the government or whatever. And then like you could get the ending where you like didn't kill anyone, and then like I don't know that it's there's a good ending and a bad ending. I don't know how many different variations
I I
there is,
do
but
remember seeing that, and very recently did I see actual gameplay of that. I watched this man go through a killing spree in a mansion. At the end, summoned a clone behind a man, kicked him off the balcony, killing him in the process. This the man is watching this man fall, jumps off the balcony, lands on his body, and Yoshi's him. Like jumps off the dead corpse and
He
lands
eats
in the
him.
balcony. No,
Oh.
jumps like uses Yoshi as an extra jump to get free. And I thought like the
oh yeah,
that gameplay was so smooth. I'm like
yes,
that took some skill.
there's a lot of speed running in this game because, like I said in the beginning, how they killed the queen, they used magic. You learn the magic that they used, and you can like the main thing in the game is like teleporting around. Like you can like teleport from like here to across the room or here to on top of lights or
Mhm.
whatever. And that's how you sneak around these mansions and sneak around these guards. You can teleport on top of a light post. And people have taken that and made it into a massive speedrunning game.
I will forever respect speedrunners because it takes a. I I find it ironic. You put all these hours in to play the game
A
as
lot.
little as possible,
Yeah.
but it is insane seeing all the exploits that like game that developers like clearly not clearly missed, but like didn't anticipate.
Yeah. It's so funny. Like speedruns are so funny to watch because people like a legitimate speedrun can be a speedrun where the game glitched out and you like glitched ahead,
Mhm.
and that counts as a legitimate speedrun. And no one will ever probably get that again.
So I know this is cutting into like other topics, but I will ask you, have you and I know a lot of people probably aren't interested in this, but have you heard the speed run that can never be replicated ever again?
Yeah, I think that's the one
Pretty
that you
sure I
were telling
have.
me about the other day.
Yeah.
I think that's the only reason I was thinking about that.
It's like wasn't it like a lightning struck or a solar flare happened during the speed run and it glitched the game by
So,
like a couple seconds?
so basically like how
So funny.
how it worked out was the memory of the old NES cartridges would update like say every 60 frames. And what ends up happening is they said or at least what the research that they've done. I don't know how extensive research they did, but what they're claiming is
Extensive.
a solar flare interacted with the memory, changing a 0 to a 1 or a 1 to a 0. Byte or freaking bitcode, not bitcode. I can't remember the name. You know what I'm talking about.
A
Maybe a
bit.
byte,
A
It
bit.
is a bit
bit code.
0
Well,
to
a
1.
byte is 4 bits.
Well, anyway, changes. I digress. Changes a 1 to a 0 or 0
Might
to
be.
1
Might
and
be 8.
messes with the
Oh,
memory.
it's 4. It's 4.
I can't remember.
No,
That
it's
was a
one.
while ago.
It's a 0 or 1. It's in twos.
Yeah, a bit is a 0 or a 1, but a
Digital.
byte is 4 of those.
Yeah, digital work. Anyway, I digress. Changes 0 to 1, 1 is 0.
He
And
digresses.
it changes what floor he was on because he loaded into the next level, and the game goes, "Oh crap, you're 8 levels ahead now."
I love that.
As he was speedrunning, it's like you can't it has to be a random occurrence. But anyway,
Just cover up your password from the camera.
Yeah, why not?
oh, you're gonna.
I love Red 40.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I paid good money for this.
Red 40. It's going to be banned soon. They're going to have to pick a different red. Red 39.
Did you end up finding it out, or I'm pretty sure it's a YouTube video that I saw. It was an old game, but I'll get back to you on that.
Super Mario 64?
Probably.
I think I found it. While this is loading, I got it. It loaded. Where is it?
While it's loading, what else do you want to talk about, brother?
Using glitches.
I don't think it's Super Mario 64 because
Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, flipping the switch from either 0 to 1 or vice versa. Binary, but
yeah, there it is, binary. Holy crap!
yeah, that's weird.
Why was that so hard to remember?
There are particles constantly colliding with atoms in Earth's atmosphere, and occasionally the collision will flip the state of a bit.
Mm-hmm.
During a race, an ionizing particle from outer space collided with Dota Teabag's N64, flipping the 8th bit of Mario's first height byte. Specifically, it flipped the byte from a lot of ones and zeros from C5 to C4. This resulted in a height change from, I'm assuming, low to really high, and Mario warped up to a higher floor. Yeah. Astronomical, to say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
freaking wild.
I didn't think it was N64 because actually no, that does make sense now because there's different categories for that speedrun. But I won't go too much into that.
The last thing I'll say about Dishonored is I love the main character's name, Corvo. Probably because of the game itself and it's just like nostalgic, but I love Corvo as a name. If I was having a boy, I'd heavily consider Corvo.
Yeah, I'd name
What
myself.
is
As a
your
boy's name.
significant other said to this?
We're not having a boy, so we haven't talked about it yet.
That is true. We all started
Yeah.
as girls first.
But one of my buddies' older brothers named his German Shepherd Corvo, and I was like, dang that.
Beat you to the punch.
You freaking used it for your dog. I want to use it for my son.
Dogs don't last that long. No offense.
Okay, yeah, no.
No offense. Dogs don't last that long. Humans last a lot longer.
That is true. They are only here partially for your life, but you are there for their entire life.
What does it have to do with him naming his son Corvo?
No, that just has to do with dogs.
Imagine.
I love that game, to say the least. It's a very
Dragon.
good game, but I love a lot of games, including Black Ops. It's an amazing, amazing game.
Good times.
Just never got into it.
We should definitely play. Oh. Yeah. So you're into 3D printing, Caden.
Wow.
Nice transition.
Great transition. Or translation. Yeah. Transition. That one. Yeah. Have a decent setup. I'd say decent. I very much enjoy it.
You print 3Ds?
That's one way to put it.
Did you do CAD in high school?
I did actually.
3Ds nuts.
I did. Hair cut off. No more cancer for you.
You son of a bitch.
You get too much cancer.
Yeah, you're becoming cancerous.
Warning. Contents under pressure. Bottle may burst, causing eye or other serious injury.
Anyway. So yeah,
Warning.
I did do CAD in high school. I did a little programming in high school as well. Very basic programming.
Basic.
I actually did some HTML coding. If you don't know what that is,
I don't.
It's very useful.
It is very basic. After the podcast, I'll tell you a little bit about it because I don't want to just talk about it
Yeah.
randomly. But getting back to it, I want to say I put about, I want to say 1,300 towards my setup for that, for 3D printing. It was I'd say 1,300 mainly because I bought, the printer was about 400. I bought a decent UPS because
Like the truck?
uninterruptible power supply.
Not like the truck.
Not like the truck. Sorry,
Big
bud.
brown truck.
Sorry, bud.
Ups.
Yeah, no. So
United Postal Service.
I bought a UPS
Union
because
Parcel Service?
I bought a UPS because the printer was very susceptible to voltage surges. So you need something to keep it constant. In fact, I've lost probably a good 40 hours of progress continuously before I figured out that issue.
Would that not be like in the design of the power supply
So
for the printer? Would
you
that
would
be a design?
you would think, but it's also in with retrospect that you're not expecting a lot of power surges.
United Parcel
like-
Service.
But storms that we have here, constant, like people using stuff and changing power loading on the electric grid around here, like causes voltage surges.
Right.
And so I bought I think it was like $140 battery, doing wonders for me. Bought a workbench to place everything in and be able to take apart and put stuff together, as well as like the workbench also works out for like other things.
Yeah.
Like stuff me and Alec are more interested in, from what I have been told about you.
I don't
What?
know what you're talking about.
Guns.
Oh, yeah.
Like it functions as an ability for me to take apart and clean them and make sure everything functions properly.
Yeah, that's right. You can print anything with a 3D printer.
Yes,
that is true. If you ever come by the office, if you haven't seen it, I made a Goku. If you've seen that, if you haven't seen it, come on by.
I haven't noticed it.
So I'll put
I haven't
it.
looked for it.
I was going to say,
Well, I saw it by accident because it's in the ceiling.
that is true. Come by the office.
I
but I've seen it.
Just happened to look up.
But come by the office. That was the most intricate thing I have made so far.
Really?
Yep. The amount of angles and curves really put the printer to the limit, and I want to say 7 failures.
Push it.
Failures?
7 failures.
What causes a failure?
So either part of it was the UPS. I didn't have a UPS at the time, so I figured that out. Others was so there's a bunch of settings that go into it. Infill is basically the support structure inside the main piece you're trying to make. So if your infill is too weak, it falls apart. If you don't have enough support,
Fall over.
yeah.
Okay.
If you don't have enough support, because think about the stuff that I use is filament, and filament, funnily enough, come from corn.
Really?
Yeah, I looked it up because I'm like, what does this comes from? Because it's relatively cheap. I buy.
Well, I thought there was also just like plastic filaments.
There is, but like I bought this for $30, and I'm getting 400 yards worth. I'm like, how am I getting $30 with 400 yards of filament?
That's
What is this made of?
1,200 feet for non-Americans.
That yeah, you went imperial to imperial, buddy. But
I know what a foot looks like.
Okay.
About 380 meters.
Interesting that you're able to do that math. Hopefully you're right. But yeah,
I'll
so
double check.
getting your supports right, make sure like your 3D printer or the printer can handle the angles. I had and then the material that I was using originally, I wanted it to be like kind of a shiny figure. Like but the material was just dog water. It did not hold well together.
366 meters.
relatively close, but it did not hold well together. It was not able to support itself, and about halfway through, it actually clogged up what's called the extruder where everything comes out.
Yeah.
And so I had to take it apart, clean it several times,
Like,
mess with my
like the
settings.
tip.
Yep, the
Yeah.
tip. And so eventually I got the right settings, and then it took me 2 prints to get it just right after that. I changed.
What kind of things like can you adjust with the settings, like heat, flow,
So
those
you,
kind of things?
yep, you can adjust heat, adjust flow. You adjust the speed at which it comes out. Like when you say flow, you can adjust how much comes out, and then you can adjust how fast it moves on certain
Okay.
parts.
Yeah.
And then you can adjust infill settings, which is how much support's on the inside, how where support is located at, and that's all in the program. In fact, if any of y'all want something, I'm more than willing to make it. Just come ask.
Um,
Dadgummit.
when you, yeah.
I will preface.
dadgummit logo for
I will
the
preface
desk.
this. If I can find it online, I can do it.
Can you make one?
That's a little bit more difficult because the actual programming to do it, the UI sucks. But that doesn't mean I won't give it my best attempt.
The old college try.
College try implies I actually have a good program to work with. The CAD program that I was
Oh, that's right. He hasn't been to college. Forgot.
I'm working on it. The CAD program I used in high school, I took a look at it, would cost me $2,000 a year to use. Wow. Yeah. I got really good. I got really good at that.
Goodness gracious! Can't you just buy like the software and just keep the program?
Ah, yes. About that. That's 30 grand. I did look into that. And
Holy cow!
so if anyone wants to support my GoFundMe for this license, there will be a link in the description below.
After you print,
Will there be?
like when you printed the
No.
Goku,
Mhm.
you have to sand down the whole
Yes,
thing.
I filed the. So I have a Dremel with the sander to help like certain edges would not come out well, so I had to cut things off, sand it well. I also have high grit sandpaper to actually make it smooth. And like I said, I've just made little gadgets and gizmos. And like for Christmas, I'm making my family like holiday ornaments with this that moves on their own, like little twists and turns.
That's cool.
It's not expensive. It's really like once you get going, it's not expensive to maintain it. You do the maintenance you need to take care of it, and then yeah. What were you getting at by I can make anything?
Oh, a little dadgummit logo for the table.
Hmm.
That'd be cool.
Like I said, I can do that, but I'll have to get back to you on that.
Okay.
Whether or not I can make it good or not.
All right.
But yeah, I made quite a few things for family and friends. I made a also in the office is a or nope, took that out because it was deemed inappropriate. It was a octopus, but instead of tentacles, there was something else replacing the tentacles in the form of a finger.
A finger?
A middle finger variety for each tentacle.
It's a single tentacle. How's
There-
it a middle finger?
How many?
Every finger's a middle
So
finger.
is
if
each
it's one
tentacle a
finger.
hand? And
Each tentacle was a hand with a middle finger on it, and I hid it in my boss's desk. And it was I made it.
Sounds very intricate.
It was
funny.
It was. He got a good laugh out of it, and he was like, "You need to take this home." I'm like, "Okay," but there was also an opportune portion where the office was very intricate or very invested in Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
As most are.
So we made Dwayne the Rock Lobster,
Shout out to Hawaii.
Dwayne the Rocked Octopus. Someone made, it wasn't me, but someone made Dwayne the Sailboat, which perplexes me to this day how that makes sense.
That's
But I
freaking
digress.
wild. What?
But like I said, we made a bunch of things. I think I made oh yes, one of my friends got promoted, and I said, "Hey, for your promotion, what would you like? I have 2 Dwayne things. You get to choose choice 1 or choice 2. What are the choices? There is Dwayne the Rock Lobster, which is a good one. And then there was a what I affectionately called Rock Snail. There was a Dwayne Snail.
On the lobster, where did the Rock Johnson come in?
His head.
And the snail?
His head. Like, if take any animal and throw his head onto it.
Okay.
Same with Dwayne the Rock Octopus. It was an octopus with
You seen his wax figure?
What?
what?
Oh, now I'm in the know. You haven't seen the wax figure of his that's going all over the internet?
Of Dwayne the Rock Johnson?
Yeah.
I can't say that I have.
People are not happy.
Why are they not happy?
It was I don't remember which. It was like a famous wax museum made one of him, and from the news article, there is one key element missing from his wax figure. You're supposed to figure out what it is.
He looks very light skinned in this.
They forgot his pigment.
He looks white.
He looks like Mr. Clean.
He does look like Mr. Clean.
Oh gosh! Oh,
Oh,
you
no.
you're cut off.
Red 40.
Red 40.
No.
Didn't apologize for that.
No, it's fine. Like I said, the rug is literally for the podcast, so
Do it again. See what happens.
it'll just absorb it. That's what will happen. That's what the carpet's here for.
On camera.
No, it's here to absorb the.
Anyway,
What do you think of because someone has there was a company that successfully 3D printed a heart and put the heart in a patient,
And he
and the
died.
body they died 4 months later because they were already going to die. The body accepted the heart, but the rest of his body was breaking down too.
It's pretty neat. I could have 2 hearts.
I mean, it is kind of sketchy. It's like the dude was basically just like a test subject, and he was already dying. He was like, yeah, I'll do this and see how it goes. The body did accept the heart for 4 months. So I don't know.
so I guess you're asking what's my opinion on the matter?
Yeah. What's your opinion on 3D printed organs?
I love it.
Would you accept one yourself?
No.
So here's the thing: is with every great, I want to say, engineering process or creation we have come up with.
With every great power
No, we're not quoting Spider-Man.
becomes.
Not a sponsor. No, we could be.
But
We'll call your
every
people.
great engineering example that we have made, there's always been incidents and accidents, and that has resulted of it because we've not been careful enough. Chernobyl is one of them. Nuclear power was huge, and they messed it up several times throughout history. But that doesn't mean you don't learn from it. It's the same thing here. 3D printed organs, sure, it could work out. There's got to be extensive testing done. And it was very generous of this man to say, you know what, I'm about to die, and I would very much like to further myself for the advancement of humanity. I will respect people that are willing to put their life on the line for that.
Well,
But
he's
ex-
already dying.
but he could have died 4 months sooner. But he was able to
Yeah.
do that for the betterment of humanity. And so the people that are willing to put their life on the line and for the advancement, as long as they fully understand the consequences of their actions and they say they're okay, it is their body, their ability to do what they need to. As long as they have the mental conscience and capability to decide on that, who am I to judge?
Would you, let's say you're in a situation where you're on a list for a specific organ and you have, I don't know, like 2 months to get it, and you don't know if you'll ever make it to the top of that list to get it. But this company that manufactures them or 3D prints them comes to you and is like, hey, we have this 3D printed one. Would you like to give that a try?
So you're giving me a timeline of 2 months to live. I am dead in 2 months. I will not know if I'm.
Yeah.
There's like not a chance in hell.
You don't have a positive chance of getting an organ off of that list and like the clock ticks and it gets worse the longer you wait, would you take this company's 3D printed organ?
If I am all that would depend on my age, I would say. If I'm 40 and I'm having like heart failure, yes, I would take that chance knowing I could have 30 plus years of life still. But if I'm 80 years old, 70 years old on my deathbed, I don't know if I would want to like try that. It's like at that point for me personally, it is my time to go. Um, but
Would you say it's like a moral issue though?
I wouldn't say it's more of
Is
a
that why you're saying that?
I wouldn't say it's more of a moral. Think about it like this: is if I was doing it for the betterment of humanity to test, sure, because that makes more sense.
Mm.
But if it is a proven thing that we know that this works, just let me go. At that point, there's no reason for me to stick around at that age. If you are saying for a test, sure. If you're saying we know this works, there's no reason for you to like really try this out. We know this will work. Not really. You see, there's a benefit to trying something out on, at least for me, someone who's about to pass away. And I don't want to say that like, yeah, we should start testing things out on the elderly. No, I'm saying there's a specific method. If people come up to you and say, hey, we would like to try this, and they are okay with this, don't force people. Don't go curse people. Just give them their options and have their mental capability. If they're in the mental capability to make that decision, give it to them. If there is no way in hell they can try it, if they should, and they should not make that decision, then you do not give them the option to. You do not give them the ability. You don't present that. You don't present it to them in the first place because they're not in the right mindset to agree.
Would you?
That is a good question. Like that is an excellent question. I will give you that.
Would you? Huh? Oh.
You know you can talk in the mic, please.
I don't want to sound rude. Why do you keep give me two of them? I only need one.
Take as many as you need.
Jesus Christ. What is your question?
So if the same question that I just answered, if you were about to pass away, would you take like a 3D printed organ? Why or why not?
I don't see why I wouldn't. I don't see why I wouldn't.
Do you think I know a lot of people are like, oh, we're playing God. Do you agree with that?
No.
Think we're pushing it too far?
No.
3D printing organs?
No. God made everything in the universe. So
Marijuana.
therefore everything in the universe
Marijuana.
is, an avenue.
Marijuana.
Yeah, what about that?
So I don't think people should use it.
He said in the last episode that he doesn't like marijuana or whatever, but now he's saying that everything in the universe made by God is good.
So
That's not what I said.
I was gonna say
that is not what I said at
That's
all.
basically what you're saying.
That's not what I said at
Hold
all.
on. Time out. If that is what you're going off of, you're saying that God would ban marijuana or not go against that. Let's keep in mind the first thing God did.
I'm using.
In accordance with the
I'm
Bible.
trying to make it an argument against him
with the Bible.
His own word.
Let's say this. Within the Bible, the first thing he did after creating everything in humanity said, "Don't eat this fruit." The first thing he did was ban a plant.
Yeah, okay.
So
I'm not the one making the claim about marijuana.
Suck it.
What is going on? Am I in the Twilight Zone?
I don't even know.
What are you saying then?
But yeah.
You just said that everything in the universe
You're not even gonna let me talk.
is good
That's not what I said.
because God created it.
That's not what I
We
said.
can use it.
Then what did you say?
You are given free will. Everything in the universe is fair game, basically.
Okay.
You have the Bible to give you the laws with which you are supposed to follow. But technology is technology because God has enabled the laws of the universe to act as they are. So it is not a leap in logic for me to say, since we are now not operating in the paradise Eden anymore, that we have free will. There are bad things out there. There are good things out there now. There's a clear distinction between everything. What enables me to continue living my best life, which there are many passages of the Bible, as long as you're following the foundational tenets, your goal in life is to live a good life and then eventually go to heaven. I want to prolong that life as long as I can using the foundational laws of the universe that have been created by the creator.
To live a good life.
Yeah.
So
A
people
good and just life.
So people that use mushrooms or smoke marijuana are living their good life.
No.
Why? They're having a good time.
Having a good time and living a good and just life are two different things. I could be a psychopath and have a good time murdering dozens
Okay,
of people.
but they're not.
That's not
They're
having a
using
good and just
mushrooms
life.
and they're
So hold on. So where's that cutoff for you?
Where's what cut off?
So you say as long as they're living their best life, following, for example, the Bible.
Not their best life. Oh my gosh, you guys are
I'm sorry.
living a good and just life,
So
which
you
is
did say
different.
best life though.
so
which is different than living your best, what people call now their best life.
so I apologize. So where do you draw the line for a good and just life? Because according to the Bible, the 10 Commandments was the foundation, and that is
Right.
what the law
The Abrahamic
was.
laws.
Yes.
Right.
Where does it say, "Thou shalt not do drugs. Thou shalt not do like anything outside the laws of the 10 Commandments"?
I'm not an expert on the New Testament, but I have read passages where it specifically says to not indulge in mind-altering substances. I would have to do some Googling in order to find those passages because I don't know them offhand,
Okay.
but they shouldn't be that hard to find.
The Bible does say to keep a sober mind, and it also says in a very numerous amount of passages to not, against being a drunkard
So there you
or
go.
drunkenness.
There's the proof. That
But there's
you were
also
looking for.
sober.
Yep.
Let's use the word sober.
It
mind.
does. So there is the proof for you that you were looking for, where it says the good and just life that Alec here was talking about.
Okay, but
Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. That's in reference to alcohol addiction, which it doesn't actually call out alcohol, but I mean sobriety.
there's
one
also
could say.
passages in the New Testament
not
about
get-
keeping a sober mind.
Do not get
Mhm.
drunk on wine, which leads to debauchery. Instead, be filled with the Spirit, which is funny considering our podcast, but we don't really get that drunk.
No.
Well, no, it's
There's a difference between we are sober.
yes, there is a huge difference.
I will remember all of this, obviously, and I am able to carry on a conversation.
But we're
There's a
gonna
difference.
we're going really far down this rabbit hole.
We're supposed to end soon.
Yeah, that is true. But you wanted to bring up a topic there. I know it's a weird transition, but do you think we got time for that?
Oh, his story?
Yeah, his story.
That's up to you.
Oh, that'll be a later episode.
That'll be
Alright.
later. Dang, I guess I
That's
missed
fine.
out on that. Have to listen to it.
That's fine. Yeah. No, let's go. Thanks, Caden, for coming on the show. It was a blast.
Thanks, Caden, for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you, but
Thank you.
stop making those faces. Thank you for having me, guys. I greatly appreciate it.
And thanks for the red 40. It was very It was very good.
It's
Very cancerous.
cancer. Wonderful.
I'll see y'all on chemo.
Illegal in the state of California,
See y'all on chemo.
Nevada.
Yep.
Chemo, Nevada.
Yep.
Daggone.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was another conclusion of the Dadgummit podcast featuring Alec and Brandon and today's special guest, Caden.
Caden.
You hesitated there for a second.
Was dramatic effect.
Point.
If you'd like to hear more of our stories, listen to our previous episodes. If you want us to talk about something specific in future episodes, leave us a comment. I can't think of anything else. I am so tired.
Have a good week.
Have a great rest of your week. New episodes every Monday. Bye-bye. What's your daggum?
I'll cut